everyone, and welcome back to the Coin Drop Podcast, episode number 109. And we are once again talking about a lot of games. There was actually a THQ showcase and a Nintendo showcase, and we only watched one of them this week, so you'll find out which one soon. Before we get into that, just want to do a quick announcement here at the top. On the week of the 26th, which is actually the Tuesday that our episodes would come out for our Patreon. So the week of the 24th of August, that week, there will not be a episode. So there will be no episode for the Patreon side on the 26th, no episode for the public side on the 27th. I will be in Norway that previous weekend, and we usually record before. And as soon as I get back on Thursday, going to bed, turning, burning, and going straight to PAX. So we'll be doing no episode that week, and then you'll have the PAX episode the following week. So just wanted to make that clear. I will announce that again next week, but just giving a heads up. Mike, welcome back. Another episode, another week. How's the new job? How's life? Let's keep it brief because we're running short on time.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of. I'd say this week is definitely the easier of the 2 weeks I've worked. Not a whole lot of going into people's home. Monday sucked because I cut my arm.
Yeah.
Well, now it's fine. But aside from that, yeah, it was a pretty easy week. Nothing too overly eventful. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I am behind on a lot of house projects because this damn cabinet is taking me forever, but I'm really focused on making sure that it's a product that I'm going to be happy with. One thing that I've done with this that I haven't really done with previous projects that I think is going to be more of a thing moving forward is I don't want to say I'm lucky enough to not have to worry about the budget for projects, but I've always really stressed about being on budget for projects. And with this one, I was like, I'm just going to do what needs to be done to make me happy with the project. So It's not like it's blown out of proportion and I'm buying crazy expensive shit for it, but I'm allowing myself the freedom to let what I want happen regardless of the cost and just accept that it's going to probably cost more than doing it as cheap as possible. So it's been really cool. It's been a blast to do, and I've got a ton of fucking footage to edit for that, and I'm still working my way through the Red Dead footage. I'm about 200 gigs through that project. So, boy, just a lot. And then there's just tons of housework. So, it's been a week. I've got a dump run I have to do to get rid of a bunch of stuff that's just been sitting around the house, normal stuff. Getting geared up, getting ready for Norway, brushing up on our Norwegian, getting ready for what it's going to be like living there for basically 2 weeks. So it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight on the Patreon side, I'm going to plug that at the top here. Check out our Patreon for extra content. Over there, we do an additional at least one topic. Tonight, it's actually going to be 3 topics. We're going to be talking about more AI stuff over there. Something very terrifying recently happened with AI in gaming that will make your skin crawl. Nothing that's malicious, but more existential crisis fear kind of stuff. So if you're interested in questioning existence, head over to patreon.com/coindroppod, and you can get extra content there as well as the podcast today early. We're also going to be talking about the state of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 over there, and a sequel to an MMO that myself and good friend of the show, Chris, have played for many years, that we're hoping is going to be what we hope it is. We're cautiously optimistic, much more cautiously than the last Ragnarok, but we got some stuff to talk about over there. We've got some thoughts, and I'm going to drag Mike through that. But before we get to that, let's jump into what we have for our main topics tonight. So, like we said, there was a THQ showcase as well as a Nintendo showcase, and we only watched one of them. I'm sure you figured out by now it probably wasn't the Nintendo showcase.
Yeah, I was going to say, arguably the better showcase of the 2 options.
Yeah, after looking at what was at the Nintendo showcase, yeah, we made the right choice. We're only going to talk about 2 of the games announced there. Everything else was more just refresher, nothing crazy big, but there were 2 games that really piqued our interest. The first one being Tides of Tomorrow. So this game intrigued me because I genuinely don't understand how the game works. It's the best way I can explain this. So it looks, to me at least, Mike, did you ever see the Kevin Costner movie Waterworld? No. You never saw that one? Okay.
I think
It's the one where he's a mutant fish person and the world is flooded and dirt is money.
I was like, wait a second, why does that
Uh-huh.
sound like
Does
really,
that not seem
fucked up?
very reminiscent of Tides of Tomorrow? I mean, it's much more like color poppy. The game is much more color poppy, but like it's a flooded world. You're on these floating islands. So
I can see it. Yeah.
This game is the newest game from developer DigiX Art. Apparently they're not a new quote unquote studio, but they're a new quote unquote studio, if that kind of makes sense. They're newer. Their last game was a game called Road 96. Did you hear of that one at all? Were you familiar with that game in the least?
That sounds familiar. Was that the one where you like basically just live on the road? Like the whole game takes like 8 hours to complete.
So I don't know that, but it is a hitchhiking game, and I actually looked it up because I was like, I wanted to familiarize myself with their previous works. It looks really interesting. Road 96 is an interesting title about where you play as a teenager that hitchhikes across a procedurally generated world. So like each time you play the game, it's different. It's on Steam. It looks really cool. It looks very narrative. It kind of follows the same graphical style of Tides of Tomorrow, which for those of you who aren't watching the VOD, I imagine Mike has cut in the trailer here. It's very color poppy. Think like, I don't want to say Fortnite, but like very defined colors. Graphically, it's a little cartoony like Fortnite, but not over the top. It is a first-person perspective. Looks like first-person shooter survival from what it looked like to me. Action adventure, I guess, is probably the better tag for it. But
it kind of reminds me of Dishonored, but more pop.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not
like
it's not cel shaded. It's definitely way more just like colorful in a good way though. Like it feels good for the world. The story that we know so far of Tides of Tomorrow is in the wake of the Great Flood, the world struggles to survive, and a deadly plastification threatens to kill all living things. I guess it's this virus that's turning everybody to plastic. That's
we got microplastics in our bodies right now.
Yeah, so like they did say that this game they were kind of reflecting on like troubles of the current world, right? Like pollution of the oceans, melting of the ice caps, stuff like that. We're going to leave political and personal opinions out of that because that's a whole hotbed of issues that like I personally don't want to get into. But I do enjoy the world of Waterworld from the old Kevin Costner movie. When I lived in California, I'd been to like Universal Studios or Florida, or not Florida, like Universal Studios in LA. And they would do like a Waterworld show, which was really fucking cool. So like they do like this big old action sequence. So I was a big fan of the Waterworld and just like the lore of it. And I love sailing. I really do. So this game being able to be like open world, Waterworld style game is really cool. It got bad, dude. Like I've been craving some like open world sailing to the point where I was like, man, should I buy Skull and Bones? Like I genuinely had that thought. And then I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would I do that? Why would
the world's first quadruple A failure?
I was like, why would I do that? That's foolish. I don't want to do that. And that's like, I should buy Sea of Thieves. And then I'm like, but I don't have anybody to play that with. So I don't know. I might get that at some point. I didn't know you.
I don't play Sea of Thieves because I don't have anybody.
All right. Well,
I'm not talking like Game Pass. Like I own the game.
Okay. I might buy it then because it is one game that I have wanted to play, but it's one of those, again, you have to play it with somebody. So
yeah, there's so much content with that game, and they also added a private lobby.
Oh, cool. Nice
thing that you can do.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll play it with you.
All right. Well, I might look at getting that. But so this idea of like the plastification kind of made me giggle because I don't know if you're a fan of like Doctor Who, and it'd be really cool if you splice in this clip here. But the very first Doctor Who episode from like the return of the show with the Ninth Doctor is living plastic, and it's mannequins that come to life, and they turn one of the characters into like a living plastic doll. You should totally cut that footage in here. It made me think of that in a very humorous way. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea. What's more interesting, and this is the part that really confused me, and I think it confused you a little bit too. The game bases how the game goes off of other people who are or have played the game.
Yeah, that
Like, I don't know how to say that to make it make sense.
so the way that I was interpreting it is, I guess it's instanced, but instanced in a sense that this is your playthrough.
Yeah.
There is not a physical player playing with you.
Right. It's not like a multiplayer world.
Yeah, it's just the worlds are connected, so it's based on, I guess,
It's almost like parallel dimensions laying over each other.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like if it's like the 10 players that played the mission before you all picked the evil path, and then you play that same mission, you will get the outcome of whatever they selected, versus if you decide to follow it and do the evil choice versus picking the good choice at the end of that mission. For the next person that plays it, it could either be worse or better. And that's kind of the way I was interpreting it.
So I dug a little bit deeper into that. Like, what is it basing this on? And from what I could find, it seems to be that, and just for clarification to everyone, it is a single player game, but like the servers are connected. So there's no one else in your world but you. And you can play it offline. So completely detached from this. But then at the same point, like this kind of seems like part of the main point of the game. So fucking why would you? However,
I could see myself doing it to get the original idea and then doing it online again to get the alternate.
Yeah. The way your playthrough is impacted, and this feels a little gimmicky to me. I don't know how I feel about this. It says that, and this is directly from their Steam page, your playthrough of the game is impacted by your friends and streamers you choose to follow. So you can there seems to be some way to connect your game and choose people's stories that you want to influence your game. I don't know. They don't really elaborate, but that is directly from their Steam page. So it doesn't sound like it's just going to be like your current gameplay is based off of whoever the fuck was playing before you. It's literally your choice of okay, I know these guys, I'm going to follow these guys, and that's going to affect my story. So weird.
Yeah. It almost kind of reminds me of Deathloop.
Yeah, I never played that one.
That's a good one to play.
Yeah. Okay.
But the art style as well, but also the way the game mechanics work and how other people can affect your playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gives me vibes of Deathloop, just a little bit.
Okay.
Like the tiniest smidge.
Okay.
Even the UI in the last little GIF, and if I remember, I'll put it up here. But the UI in the last little GIF, where it's you're holding a knife, and your choice is to kill, open, or escape. That UI, it's very Deathloop, to me at least.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to play it for sure. I'm just. The biggest thing that confuses me is the influential part of it. What the fuck does it Oh, I follow Markiplier. Does that mean if Markiplier plays this game and he fucks it up, does that mean I get fucked up?
Yeah, and how does that interaction work? Does this have Twitch integration? Is this you just have to have their Steam names? How does it? So I'm curious to see them elaborate more on that, because that's more what's interesting me than anything else with this game, because the idea of the way they kind of sell it in the trailer, it seems like almost mistaken identity, where it's oh, this is him. Well, he's dressed the same. Well, it's not him. So your friend robbed me and you're going to pay for it. That's kind of the vibe that they put out. So it's definitely interesting. We know a little bit about the mechanics, not a whole lot. Like I said, you follow your friends and favorite streamers' adventures, and I guess that's what interacts and changes your world. But you get to sail the open seas, gather resources for survival, so it implies some sort of survival aspect to the game. There's floating cities, platforms, dungeons, etc., whatever that looks like. There's no land left, basically, which, realistically speaking, is not how the world would work if all the polar ice caps melted, but we're just going to leave that alone. So, it's a choice. I'm not going to get into it. It's fine. Choices matter, obviously. So your choices will then affect anybody who follows your play, potentially, I guess. But we'll keep an eye on this. I'm interested. I wishlisted it. It's slotted for release on the 24th of February. So next year, we've got some time to see kind of what the team does with it. Any thoughts on that before we move on, Mike?
Yeah, I'm ready to play it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Look a lot. This kind of seems like it has a lot of the influence of that, so I'm down.
Cool. Yeah, I'm all for narrative games. I'm a little cautious about the open world stuff again because, you know, a lot of them are just way too big. So we'll see. But speaking of another game that I am 100% ready for, 10 people created this next game. This is Paraglacial's first game, as far as I can tell, and it is called Fatekeeper. And I got some serious vibes from this game, from a specific title in general, but I want to hear your thoughts first. This game is, for those of you who, again, aren't watching the VOD, is a first-person dark fantasy RPG. So, Mike, what games do you feel like inspired this game? Because I got a very specific one in mind.
I want to say, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me on it, but you'll kind of understand it if I elaborate.
Sure.
Have you played Metro Exodus yet?
I have. I played it when it came out. I think I played like the first hour or so of it. I have not played a ton of it, but I am familiar with it. So
the idea of like the art style in Metro Exodus kind of being taken a little further back towards like the medieval type, because that's what's going on here. Is it's more medieval, crossed with some of the like Oblivion, Skyrim stuff, like the vibe, and the way that the world presents itself. That the other thing is that there wasn't really like a lot shown.
Yeah,
like there was, but there wasn't. It was mostly like, this is a pretty scene. This is a pretty scene. Here's a quick inventory menu, which is very, I will say, it's very Witcher-esque. The UI for the inventory menu is literally just like, you have your main bag or whatever, your 4 or 5 slots, your little 6-slot accessory down at the bottom.
Oh, fucking hell.
And then your little wall, your wall of stats and like description for each item. On the right side, and so that was pulled right out of The Witcher 3 in my mind. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in my opinion, that menu system in The Witcher 3 was done so fucking well as like as deep of an RPG as the game is. I think using that as your influence for your system is really good. Aside from that, I'm kind of seeing like a little bit of Doom in there.
Okay.
In the like design, and I kind of like, the biggest thing for me is that giant fucking claymore, dude. Like, that thing is so fucking beautiful.
Yeah. It's a pretty looking game. It's definitely built on UE5. It's the only way a team of 10 people have built such an amazingly impressive game, and the graphical fidelity that we've got, which is also really cool, because if it's in UE5, that means Praydog will work. That means VR capability for this game. So obviously not native.
Run around with a giant claymore.
Yeah, obviously not native, but like VR for this game would be pretty dope. There's one game to me, and I think this is the generational thing, right? You're a few years younger than me, not a whole lot, but it's enough that you would have missed this title when it came out. And seriously, you should buy this on Steam, because if you liked Dishonored, this was their first game, and it is one of the best fantasy first-person RPGs ever. Like Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, don't even touch this. Might and Magic: Dark Messiah.
Okay.
It is a fantastic game, and it is Arcane's first game. I think that's who the team that made Dishonored, but it was their first game. It has aged fairly poorly, but it is still an enjoyable experience. It's a great game to play on deck. It is very, in my opinion, Fatekeeper. I honestly, when they showed that, I was like, is this a sequel to Might and Magic: Dark Messiah? And that's like, no, that's a completely different, like, that's like, it looks very similar to that style. It's that dark, gritty, first person, magic, sword and board kind of game. So that immediately made me a little concerned, because tying that inspiration with 10 people gave me another game that Tim and I talked about almost over a year ago, that dropped a quote unquote demo, like a trailer, and vanished. Alkahest. Alkahest.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah. So that immediately brought Alkahest to mind and me going, okay, is this game actually ever going to come to the light of day? Alkahest has been absent from any kind of media news since that first trailer. I'm convinced that game isn't a game, first of all. Now, the fact that THQ is publishing Fatekeeper has me a little bit more optimistic, because that means this team does have an actual publisher behind them. They're not an indie going, look what I can do, and then never doing anything with it. So Fatekeeper, in my opinion, looks like a spiritual successor to Dark Messiah, which makes me very excited, but also kind of concerned because of the last one that I got excited for that just disappeared. What we know about the game so far is that it is a focused narrative open world story. So again, I've said this before, open world and focused narrative are generally in opposition of each other. They don't usually work that well together, so we'll see how they layer the story with those open world mechanics and somehow keep it cohesive, hopefully. They've said that enemies will have unique strengths and weaknesses, and you need to be able to not only be skilled at the game, but prepare for fights, which gave me kind of a Monster Hunter vibe. It's like Monster Hunter, the further you get into that, you got to start accounting for like resistances and making sure you have the right buffs and things like that. So it gave me kind of like okay, how deep is that going to go? What is that going to look like? Doesn't appear to be a Souls-like game, which is 2 thumbs up in my book. So no Souls-like mechanics as far as we can tell. And character builds are much more than surface level. So you've got, they kind of detailed out that you've got the surface level stats, but you also have combat styles, attributes, and schools of magic to kind of create your theory craft for your build. There's a deep loot system and character leveling crafting system, or build crafting system that allows you to really take advantage of every piece of gear and really balance how you want your play style, how to handle encounters, things of that nature. So it sounds really good. And then, the best part, going back a couple episodes to talking about dismemberment when we were discussing that, guy splits a monster's head in half. Like straight
right
up
the middle of the skull.
Yeah, like just beautiful, just vivisection of this guy's face in a point where it's like, and it's like a big old ogre. So you see this freaking hunk of his brain on one side as he's like wiggling his sword out. Gorgeous kill. So
very much a cross section cut.
Yeah, the man opened him up. So I don't know. It looks cool. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. Again, 10 people working on this project. You can do some pretty amazing things with Unreal 5. So while 10 people seems incredibly small, they also have said, this is the part that really blew me away, the entire game is handcrafted. And in today's world, that means they don't use AI at all.
Or anything.
Yeah, not at all in their workflow. So... And Steam now has the AI disclaimer, and there's no disclaimer on there for AI. So this is all hand built by these 10 people. I was trying to find more information on the team about, Paraglacial, but I can't find a developer page or website for them at all, unfortunately. So I don't know what their experience is, if they're brand new to video games, if they're veterans, what the deal is. So other than that, go ahead.
I was going to say the only other thought I have for the game, there's a section in the trailer that you didn't really note. I don't know if you noticed it, but we didn't highlight it. When he's coming up to a fight and he takes like what looks like a bar or like a rag or something, and then he coats his sword with it.
Yeah.
His sword has like a green tinge to it now. I guess it would be implying that he poisoned his blade.
Or
I really
acid
like
or something.
Animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that animation instead of like opening a menu and then like selecting an item, and then all of a sudden when I leave the menu, my sword is now modified with this new statistic. I really like that he like pulled a rag out wiped it on his blade, and then put it away.
Yeah, that's a really neat touch. I'm guessing it's like maybe you have a hot bar, right? And you've got like coatings hotkeyed, so like you hit a button and he like wipes it or something. That makes me wonder what other coatings we're gonna see. Like, are we gonna see him like wipe it with oil and then flick like a flint and steel against the, or like hit it with a flint and like spark?
I want Ghost of Tsushima, just like just ready to go. One fucking rotation of that sword and it's on fire.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like the idea of him like coating it with oil and then just hitting it with a flintstone. It sparks up. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. So, their animations are really good. UE5 has a really good pipeline now for animations. They've done a great job on focusing on that with their latest update because they know their animation pipeline has always kind of sucked. So, I mean, even when I was messing around with UE5, like you could basically, and I guess this would technically be AI. So they probably didn't do this. Though I don't know if it is AI, I don't know how the pipeline works, but the way that I was learning UE5 animations was you made a pose and then you said, okay, this is the start point. And then you made another pose and said, this is the end point. Now make it work. And it fills in the gaps. And I don't know if that's AI. I don't think it is. I think that's just literally the code going, okay, the movement, right? The physics engine of UE. But that was a really cool thing that I was fucking around with. So
I think that's AI in the sense of like predictive text, because when you're like typing out and you're texting someone, it'll give you what you think you're trying to use to finish your sentence.
Sure.
To like fill in those gaps. Yeah. So I think it's kind of the same idea, but just like point A and point B instead of like step 1, 2, 3, 4, like all the way through. And it kind of uses the estimation, I guess, of what you're looking for to fill in that. Which that's not AI.
I didn't think so.
Something else. And Linus Tech did like a huge deep dive on the difference between AI and automated intelligence with predetermined intelligence. It's like a whole semantics thing that you can go and watch. But yeah.
But yeah, I remember that being really cool, and like that was a really good resource for people like me who suck at animations. I can't tell you when I can tell you when an animation is really bad. I can't tell you when it's like mediocre, right? Like I'm just like, yeah, it looks good. It's fucking he walked. You know? So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a release date for this game. We don't have any other information other than, you know, kind of what we've discussed. But I'm going to keep an eye on it because, again, as a fan of Dark Messiah, this game, it hits all the marks. Yeah. Creepy monsters, dark setting, like, yeah, looks good.
It does. It has a release window, I guess. It says coming to early access on PC this winter.
Okay.
But that could be the last 4 months of the year.
Sure. Yeah. It could be literally like it. Yeah. It could be like December 31st. So, yeah. Moving on, we've got an interesting title here to talk about. This is a new game from who's publishing this? NetEase. There's been a buzz about this Chinese game from developer Everstone Studios, who are new to the Western world. They've been making games, I guess, in China for a while. This is Where Winds Meet, and this is a free-to-play, open-world, third-person action adventure RPG that is not an MMO. So this is a free-to-play narrative game, kind of. You can play solo or up to 4-player co-op, but then they also talk about like it's a shared online world and you can join a guild to do guild wars. So I'm a little confused on whether or not this is in fact an MMO or not. But it takes place during the 10th century of China, and you play as a young sword master uncovering forgotten truths and the mystery of your own identity. So like amnesia, I guess. I don't know. But it looks
the head's a little too hard.
Yeah. Lost a fight. Who knows? Got in a brawl. It looks graphically really good. And believe it or not, Mike, this is set to release for PC, consoles, and mobile. Yeah. This is a mobile game. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way this is a mobile game. It couldn't possibly end up being a mobile game.
I mean, it was more so just, I understand why everybody wants to do that, because Unreal Engine 5 makes that workflow so much easier.
Yeah.
So like, Destiny is now also getting a fucking mobile game.
Is
I
it
don't know
really?
if you are aware of that.
Did not know
they're
that.
making a whole fucking. It's canon and everything. It's stupid as shit. But yeah.
Okay. It's not their in-house dating sim, is it? Because I know that's a thing.
Dear God. No.
Yeah, they built the Destiny devs have it on very good authority that they do in fact have a dating sim that they have internally built for themselves. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that.
It's a morale sim.
The game that comes to mind is Breakdown Infinite, which I think it's called Breakdown Infinite. It's like a Tarkov clone.
Okay.
Or Arena Breakdown, one of the two.
Sure.
And it initially came to phones first. That's right. It was Arena Breakout.
Okay.
That came to phones first, and then Arena Breakout Infinite is the PC port.
Gotcha. So the reason I say like I was kind of leading up there is like there's no way this is coming to phone. Well, this game's already out in China. It's been out in China.
What?
Yep. This game has been out in China for the last couple of months, and they've already gotten, what did I have here? Been available in China for a few months now, and 30 million downloads in China.
Bruh.
Yeah.
This is free to play?
Yes, which raises the question.
Hey, can you give game?
It's coming soon.
It's time. It's now.
I think it's localization they're still working on, right? Getting English voice acting, stuff like that is my guess. That raises the question though. This is a free to play game. Where are they making their money?
It's 100% cosmetics, dude.
It is, actually. So they have confirmed that their microtransactions are solely cosmetic. There's no pay to win in this game at all. It seems like, as far as I can find in research, that seems to be the case in the Chinese market. Everything is just making your character look cooler and has no effect on how good the game or like how hard or easy the game is, which I'm okay with. I mean, look, microtransactions, as long as they aren't invasive, I don't care what form they take. So that's kind of my take on them.
Yeah.
And
it looks like they also just finished their last big playtest, like in general, today.
Oh, damn. We could have gotten in on the playtest, huh? That's a shame.
Yeah, it went from the 25th to the 1st.
Well, that would have been yesterday then. But there's a little bit we know about this game. So pulled directly from their Steam page here. As I mentioned, big open world games, 150 hours of over 150 hours of solo gameplay or up to 4-player co-op. 150 hours. I'm just like, there's a lot of dead air there, but Mike just like slumped into his chair and I'm sitting here like, guys, come on. It doesn't need that. Nothing needs that. You don't need a 150-hour game. Like, you're just putting filler in at a certain point.
I'm literally going to play this game for 10 hours, go to work and forget about it.
Yeah. And then you'll come back to it like 7 months later and be like, I don't know where the fuck I was or what I was doing. I guess I'll go milk this cow. And then you're done playing again for another 7 months. Because you can't keep track of a story when the world is that fucking huge. Stop it. Get some help.
Get help.
So
I'm also curious about the last image on the Steam list. It looks like there's like a musical minigame going on there.
Dude, I did not get that deep into it, but I am sure there is all kinds of filler and stuff to do in this game. It looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like combat, there's probably 128 hours of filler. Yeah. Combat looks great. Animations look great. The setting looks amazing. The movement and traversal, like the whole game is definitely something that I'm like, fuck, it's free to play. I will play this. 100% I will pick this up and check it out. But again, 150 hours, go fuck yourself. I'm never going to finish that game. A little bit of a quote here, some information about the game, again, directly from their Steam page. Quote, explore Chinese 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms, period. When political intrigue, power struggles, and epic battles shape the course of history, from the bustling heart of the imperial capital to the hidden corners of forgotten wilderness, every path is layered with secrets, sights, and stories waiting to be discovered. Who are you? a hero or an agent of chaos, which implies choice.
100% chaos.
Yeah, totally. I'll be the hero, you be the chaos. It'll be great. Excuse me. Going on here, freedom is yours but every action has its weight. So I assume that's its cost, right? Translation. Cause chaos, defy the law, and face bounties, pursuit, even time behind bars, or walk a nobler path, befriend villagers, forge alliances, and grow your reputation as a hero of the I forgot how to say this. Damn it, I looked it up. It's like, why'd you? It's a Chinese word to mean like time of the warrior. And I looked it up. I pronounced it like 3 or 4 times. I had it, and then I got to it, and I wrote it as a word rather than how I was pronouncing it. So, anyways, a hero of the world. In a world torn by chaos, become the spark that ignites change and forge your legacy. That's kind of their direct from the Steam page thing. 4-player co-op, though, with a free-to-play game.
Seamless co-op, too, so it looks like you can just come up across your friend at any point.
Yeah, so I'm interested in that. Again, the build or join a guild for Guild Wars thing has me questioning, like, okay, but you say this is not an MMO. You say this is like single player. Like there's not even an MMO tag on Steam for it. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting. It's got 30 million downloads in China is a lot. Now, I hate that metric personally, because I personally have downloaded games on my phone or computer that I have never played. So just because somebody downloaded it doesn't mean people are actively playing it. I prefer player counts personally. So you could have 30 million downloads and 500 people playing, right? Like it's a bad metric. So it doesn't really tell us how good the game is, but if you check this one out, it looks to be pretty interesting. That's kind of all I've got on it. It looks cool, and hopefully it is cool.
Yeah, I hope so. The thing that keeps tripping me up is it's the second GIF in the description when he starts like running across the water, how like slow it is to start. I'm curious if that's like a just the camera movement, or if it's an actual like part of the mechanic.
Where are you looking? On the Steam page?
On the Steam page where winds meet, and it's like the second GIF down from, it's right after the paragraph for an open world with infinite possibilities.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. The game looks damn good, though. So, like, give game, because it's free. Can I have it now? Hello? Hey, Eddie's. I already play like 4 of your other games every day. Can I have it now?
Turn on your VPN and say you're in China.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I just launched big picture mode. That's not what I wanted to do.
Yes, it is.
That was not what I was supposed to. That is kind of our last main topic for the night. We're going to move on to some quick fire news here and then head over to Patreon. So first off, also at the THQ Showcase, Darksiders announced that number 4 is on its way. Technically, this is the 5th game in the franchise, and I haven't even beaten 2, let alone touched 3. So
barely played the first game.
Yeah, you really should. Like, War's story is so good. Honestly, if you haven't played this franchise, Darksiders 1 is the best way I can describe it. Think biblical post-apocalyptic world, right? Because you play as War. It's about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So like we're following Genesis or whatever book it is, and but it's like Legend of Zelda style play. Like classic Legend of Zelda, like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, dungeons, getting items, working through puzzles. Like that's how the game plays. And Mark Hamill's in it, man. Mark Hamill does the voice. Mark Hamill is in Darksiders 1. He plays the voice of the God, I can't remember his name. I need to play the game again. But he's in the game, man, and he plays a big role, and he's there with you constantly, and it's great. The gameplay for Darksiders 1 is fantastic, and then it is just in every way made better by 2. 2 adds way more RPG aspect. You get gear, you get builds, you get stuff like that. And in 2, you play as Death. So, I mean, masterpiece. Just brilliant. 3, you play as Fury because I guess Pestilence, I think she replaced Pestilence or Famine. I can't remember. Maybe she replaced Famine. So you play as Fury, which why they decided that, I don't know. But she has like a chain whip and she looks dope as hell. So I haven't played that game at all, but like it's one that's on my list along with finishing 2 because 2 is freaking good. And now I feel like I got to go back and play 1. Then they actually made an ARPG called Darksiders Genesis. And to my knowledge, that one wasn't received that well. I don't know where it sits currently. It is very cheap right now. In fact, all the games are on sale right now because of the THQ showcase. Yeah, it's all reviews have it sitting at very positive on Steam. Recent reviews are mixed. Some people like it, some people don't. It is a departure from the other games, but it is also the first one that's co-op and multiplayer. So, I mean, that's my wheelhouse. I love that. Now you have 4 coming, and the question there is: are you going to be playing as the 4th Horseman? Are they going to wrap up the story, or are we going to get another co-op game? Right? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm juiced. They didn't give us anything more than showing War again, confirming that the original voice actor of War is back, and that's what we know. And man, the story for Darksiders is so fucking good. Basically, I'll give you the brief synopsis. The game starts out with the end of the world. Like, it literally starts and like hellfire rains from the sky and just destroys humanity. And War, because he's the first horseman, like honestly, of the apocalypse, like of the end of the world scenarios, the one I would love to see the most is the biblical apocalypse, because that shit's wild. That shit's so crazy. That would be insane to see. War's the first horseman to ride in the apocalypse. So as soon as this starts coming, you're killing fucking humans, angels, demons. You're killing everything because you're War. You're just there to cause chaos. Well, it turns out you rode early and the last seal wasn't broken. So War gets accused by this council of elders of destroying humanity and causing the collapse of the world, because he left early. And he's like, no, I rode when the last seal broke. And you're firm on that stance. So the game then jumps forward millennia. I'm talking like thousands of years into the future. And you play as War, trying to prove your innocence and figure out what happened. And it is such a good story that like, it's so good. I just, it makes me want to play it again. I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a real good game. Really good. Hack and slash gameplay, plays a lot like Devil May Cry meets Legend of Zelda. So like you've got cool combos, you've got different weapons that you get per dungeon that end up being like the key to that dungeon. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend. And then 2 is just in every way an improvement. The same as like Assassin's Creed 2 is an improvement over Assassin's Creed 1. Like just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
So highly recommend. Moving on from that, AMD has announced that CPUs made in the US will cost between 5 and 20% more because reasons. Their explanation really was kind of shit. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, other than that because diversifying the supply chain so that they can account for another global pandemic if it ever happens. That way there isn't a, supply shortage again, is kind of their reasoning. And I'm like, that's what? I don't understand that as your explanation. I could understand, well, the increased cost of labor in US. That makes sense.
I mean, I could see them, because the supply chain, we, at least in that industry, we don't manufacture a lot of that supply chain. We import like the majority of the shit.
Yeah.
So by forcing AMD to manufacture in the US, they now have to create their own supply chain in the US, which is what I think they're referring to when they're saying they could see as much as a 20% price hike.
I mean, I guess it could be, just establishing new trade agreements. I don't know. That's a level of business that's above my head. I just chalk it up to like it costs more to employ people in this country than it does in Taiwan, which is why we don't make anything here. Like, you know, everybody complains we don't make stuff in America. I'm sorry. I don't really want this cell phone right here. I don't want this to cost $5,000. While I'm not okay with like sweatshop workers in Taiwan making it, the reality is it keeps our stuff cheap, and it's a fucked up thing that exists in our world. So you win some, you lose some. I don't really know how to put it other than that.
I don't even see anything else relevant to
they kind of gave
why it would be so costly.
Yeah. So all of this is to say, if you're in the market for a new AMD CPU, maybe buy it sooner rather than later. Get it now before the price hikes by 5 to 20%. Black Friday this year probably be a good time to snag one. I imagine the one I got will be on a pretty good sale, which is the 7800 X3D or whatever the hell the last gen was. Like
one generation behind me.
It's good CPU. I've liked it so far. Nintendo had their Direct, which we kind of referenced at the top of the show. Some games. I've got an article up here, kind of goes over stuff that was announced or shown off. There's a new Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflections, comes to Switch in 2026. Octopath Traveler 0 comes on December 4th. I heard that the sequel, I guess, there was Octopath Traveler, and then I was thinking Bravely Default and Bravely Second, excuse me. So Octopath Traveler 0 comes on December 4th. We've got another RPG here in the 2D HD kind of brand, Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. If you like Octopath Traveler, this looks like it's probably going to be about the same as that. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, got some showcase information. There's a new Katamari coming in October. Plants vs. Zombies, because it's everywhere.
Katamari.
Apparently, Katamari's great, though. I love those games. They're very like... A younger Russ used to partake in a certain substance and then play them for hours.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just
going to... gardening?
Yes, I was gardening. I was a big fan of...
you were gardening and playing Katamari for 10 hours at a time?
I mean, a younger Russ. Yes. Plants vs. Zombies is coming to Switch 2 October 23rd. Final Fantasy Tactics, the I-Valence Chronicle. Sure, September 30th. If you like tactics, Persona 3 Reloaded, October 23rd. Apex coming on August 5th. Star Wars Outlaws coming on September 4th. Okay, phone, fuck you. EA Sports FC 26 is coming on September 26th. Pac-Man World Repack 2 is coming on September 26th. Chronos The New Dawn is coming to Switch 2. That's happening.
That's a choice.
It's definitely the odd man out of the games shown here. Yakuza Kiwami 2 is coming November 13th. Just Dance 2026 coming October 14th. Dragon Ball Sparking 0 is coming November 14th. Madden 26 August 14th. NBA Bounce September 26th. Hella, which looks like a game kind of like Moss or something. Well, not Moss. What is that? Untangled, which was like that Sony game. It doesn't matter. That's coming. Coming sometime next year. And then Chillin' by the Campfire. No idea what that is. That's coming sometime in the future, and you use the Switch 2's 480p camera for it. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of choices.
Yeah, it's, like you said, we definitely chose the better showcase to watch.
Yeah.
GOG, Good Old Games, has put up a post about Digimon World. So they have this.
I wasn't sure if you're going to pick this.
What's that?
I wasn't sure if you're going to do this one.
Yeah. They have a dream list, and I don't really know how to explain what that dream list is, other than, I guess, like an open petition to say, hey, we want to save this game. Is that right, Mike? I know you shared this one on the weekly discussion.
You kind of cut out a little bit there for me, but
Gotcha.
I guess the most simplest way to explain it is like it's a list of games that people can vote on
Got it.
of what they want to come to GOG.com,
Gotcha.
GOG.com. As far as I know, that's what it is, and yeah. So I guess apparently
the game Digimon World received 52,000 votes. Well, GOG found that 26,000 of those votes were from fake accounts.
Yep.
So they removed them. And this, again, raises a question that really hits home for me. And it is, again, the question, is the internet dead? Are we interacting with nothing but bots on the internet that we think are real people? Whether it's Reddit, whether it's the comments on YouTube, comments on Spotify, comments anywhere, anyone that you don't personally know, are they really a person? 26,000 fake accounts is not a small number.
Nope.
And it just dead internet theory. Should look it up if you're not familiar with it. It's pretty wild. I honestly, like, for a long time thought, like, nah, there's no way that people will move away from the internet. Like, it's too critical. But the more I hear, the more I'm like, maybe one day we won't use the internet. I don't know.
Yep.
It's weird. It's weird. Mike's got some news about Battlefield 6. Put him on the spot, staring at the screen like, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of shit. But
pick the top notes.
We're top notes because we're low on time.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 6, the Battle Royale mode has been leaked more. They confirmed it is taking place in California, which is an interesting choice, but it's already on fire anyway in real life, so why not just copy that?
Yeah.
And then they are also adding more tactical gameplay to it, so you will now actually have the ability to lean and dive and do all the things that Call of Duty has been starting to do.
That they took from PUBG.
Mm-hmm. They confirmed that there will be no like weird Fortnite clone skins like Call of Duty is doing.
Good.
What else was there?
Beta confirmed for next week, right?
Yep, next week.
So if you're listening to this on release date, the beta is going on now. I believe it starts on
Friday the 8th.
Yeah.
The closed beta is happening, and then I think the open beta starts on the 12th.
Oh, I thought it was starting on the 4th.
The closed beta?
The open beta.
Let me double check.
Well, while you double check that, we will move on because, like you said, we are pressed for time. Microsoft, the good guys that they are, confirms they've made a stupid amount of money after laying off 9,000 people.
Yeah. And just to backtrack for a second, August 9th through the 10th for the closed beta. Open beta starts August 14th and goes to the 17th. Got
it. Okay. So a couple weeks away still. How much money, you might be asking? Well, how does $27 billion sound? That sounds like you probably could have kept those 9,000 people employed. Mm-hmm. So once again, the industry decides to lay off people while Microsoft CEO continues to scream from the rooftops that cloud and AI is the driving force of business transformation across every industry and sector. It seems pretty fucking clear to me you are more interested in robots than feeding people. And that feels pretty damn dystopian to me. So, Cyberpunk 2077 is looking more like a reality every day.
Damn it.
Tell me I'm wrong, Mike. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Dude, I was listening to, I don't want to get too off track, but very quickly, I was listening to the latest, this week's episode of Cox and Crendor podcast I've listened to for like 10 years now. And they were talking about, and I shit you not, this blew my mind, this is a thing, fridge doors in convenience centers stores. You know how they're glass, so you can see what's in them? Yeah. In a lot of stores in California, and apparently all over the country, they're now replacing those with screens that show you what's in them. But they don't just show you what's in them. You have to watch an ad before you can see what's in the fridge. Fucking shoot me. Shoot me now, please. Stop. Get some help.
Get some help. 2 for 2.
That's the thing, man. The world's interesting place. Got to watch ads to fucking see what's in the fridge. Focus Interactive.
Next, they're going to lock the door until you finish watching.
I honestly think that's how it works, because I'm like, why not just open the fucking door? Like, I honestly think it's probably locked, because like if I saw one of those, I would just open the fucking door and be like, nope, and then open the next door and be like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's me. Focus Interactive has learned what we as gamers kind of already know. And that's that making games for mass appeal don't succeed. Focus Interactive is blown away that they have reached 7 million players on Space Marine 2. And I'm sitting here going, do you understand how big the Warhammer fandom and like light interaction is? There are so many people who are Warhammer adjacent that are like, what's this game? This looks cool. I like this. Oh, now I play Warhammer. Now I own a loan of $50,000 to buy these fucking little plastic minis. Oh, God, save me. Yeah, so they have learned what we as gamers already know. Focusing on niche titles isn't a bad thing. It like, that's where people make their money, right? Like that's how people on YouTube make their money. They find a niche, they fill it, and that fills that void in the market that's not being covered. So when you make a game like Dragon Age, the Veilguard, that has mass appeal, it captures no one because you've alienated everyone. You're Focus Interactive.
Yeah. Nope.
So
ADD Interactive.
Good for them for figuring it out. Hopefully that means moving forward we'll see more publishing titles of niche area games, which are really great for capturing, you know, the audiences and the fandoms of those worlds. Space Marine 2 has been a phenomenal game. It's gotten crazy support over the years. Looking forward to more of it. So last topic for you guys tonight. We're going to run this out. Aion 2 was announced a little while ago. I think it was a couple weeks ago now, but we're just now talking about it. NCSoft has shown off some gameplay and cinematic art for Aion 2. If you're unfamiliar with Aion, it was an MMO in the early 2000s. I actually worked its release when I worked at Game Crazy with Tim. And he was a big fan of it. He actually really loved Aion. I didn't really get into it too much. I was more into Guild Wars, which was NCSoft's other, big title at the time. But Aion 2 is coming out, and it looks really good. But it also has the same issue I have with most Korean MMOs and Korean RPGs, which is it just has that look to it. I don't really know how to describe it other than if you've played a Korean MMO or RPG, you know what that look is. It's got a weird level of polish to it that just stands out in a way that I'm not super big on. So I don't know if it's something I'll play, but it's another situation of like Crimson Desert or Black Desert Online. Or there was another one recently that I tried to play that I just couldn't get into. What was it? Throne and Liberty. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they have a shine to them is the best way I can put it, that it doesn't do it for me. So I don't know. I'll check it out if it's free to play. If it's not, which it probably won't be because Aion wasn't, it was a subscription and it was one of the better MMOs to like kind of rival other stuff out there. It was a buy to play, like Guild Wars, excuse me. So I don't know. We'll see. Did you play Aion at all? No. Nope. Yeah. So I don't know. That is pretty much it for us tonight, guys. We are going to head over to Patreon. Like I said, we're going to talk about some kind of thought-provoking AI stuff over there again, as we did last week. Talk about an upcoming sequel to a game that Chris and I are really stoked for, and then kind of the state of Bloodlines 2 as we hopefully are getting closer to an announce of a new release date, as well as the upcoming games for the week. So as always, thank you so much for joining us, for being here, for listening. Tell your friends. Tell your dogs. Tell your coworkers. But most of all, Mike,
tell your mama said hi.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ubisoft.
Have a great fucking Jesus Christ. Have a great night, everyone.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cut that out.